Hello, my dear viewers. This video is about events related to the war in Ukraine. I have been watching social networks and the information space very carefully. An interesting trend has emerged over the past 2 days. Disinformation has appeared on Ukrainian social networks that a NATO summit will be held on March 28, at which a decision will be made on the entry of NATO troops into the territory of Ukraine. This is how NATO will save Ukraine. Let's see if this is real. In the autumn of 2021, Western countries spoke earlier about a future conflict between Russia and Ukraine. The NATO command stated that it would not defend Ukraine with its troops. Of course, they will be helped, but Kiev must act on its own. But you will say, that was before the war. Okay, what's happened next? Remember the first Ukrainian flash mob, Whole World With Us, which was supposed to organize the citizens of Ukraine so that they fought to the last man. But as I said earlier with Ukraine, not the whole world, but only 25% of the population. These are the USA, Canada and most of Europe. The rest of the world is just against Ukraine. Moreover, it indirectly supports Russia. Gradually, this becomes obvious to the citizens of Ukraine. Now the second myth has appeared. NATO will definitely enter Ukraine with its troops, because it cannot be otherwise. Why is that? Yes, because the situation at the front for the Ukrainian army is catastrophic. Half of their equipment is destroyed, the troops are heavily exhausted, some of them are surrounded. Mariupol is surrounded. The Donetsk front closest the Rhine. The situation in Kharkov is bad. Kiev is almost surrounded. Nikolaev is surrounded. Russian troops are approaching Kryvyi Rog. Everyone is waiting for the landing in Odessa. And today, in order to mobilize people, in order to keep it confident in an imminent victory, the myth, NATO troops are coming to the rescue us, was created. Hold out for another 10-20 days and they will definitely come and destroy the Russian army and begin an offensive against Moscow. But why is the leaders of Ukraine doing this? Realizing that there will be no NATO troops. And the reason is the same for which they started the war in Donbass in 2014. The goal is to shed as much blood as possible, so that when the war ends, Russia would have big problems in Ukraine. For this, infrastructure facilities are being barbarously destroyed. It's no coincidence that the Ukrainian army are located in kindergartens, schools and hospitals. For example, in my hometown of Sumy, the headquarters of the Ukrainian army is located in the Children's Regional Hospital. They hide behind children. Of course, no one will attack the hospital, but sooner or later the people who gave such orders will be punished. Those who call themselves today the authorities in Ukraine have the goal of leaving behind only ashes. Why? For one simple reason. On social networks, you can say as much as you like that Ukraine and Russia will never live together in peace and friendship. The last 8 years have shown that the brains of the inhabitants of Ukraine fall instantly. This is what the leaders in Kiev, Washington and London are afraid of. Because it was they who deceived the Ukrainians. They understand that the opposite effect is not only possible but inevitable. They are afraid that the survivors in Ukraine will create new brigades of the Ukrainian army, which tomorrow will stand on the same side with the Russian troops. Because it's inevitable and proven by history. The task is to prevent this, so that as many Ukrainians as possible die in senseless and hopeless war for Kiev. To do this, they come up with fairy tales about victories, the whole world with us, NATO troops will appear tomorrow, and so on. They are trying to convince you of the imminent victory of Ukraine, but they themselves don't believe in it. That's all I wanted to say for now. See you soon.